back to another episode of Single Mama Minimal Drama.
Hi.
It's Kendra and
Charity.
we're here today to talk about health as a mother. All kinds of health, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, Charity, when you think about health, what's the first type of health that you think about?
Mental.
Mental health?
Absolutely.
Do you want to start there today?
We can.
Okay, let me scroll. Okay, we're going to first start off today with talking about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of us are licensed mental health experts, and I feel like that should be the disclaimer.
Yes, absolutely.
We're just moms who be out here living.
Yeah. So,
Tryna-
don't do the most.
Right. You don't have to
This
take
just
any
conversation.
of this. It is just conversation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when we think about mental health, Charity,
Mm-hmm.
what are some of your mental health practices? I guess we'll start there.
Protecting my peace.
How do
And
you do
anything that tries to come up against it, you got to go. I don't care what or who it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I ride now.
They gotta
Yeah. So it's not necessarily something that I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just keeping boundaries and protecting myself, basically. And I stay in my word a lot more now. So that is helping me answer a lot of questions that I have out here. Mm-hmm. Giving me perspective in here.
Mm-hmm.
And helping me it's just really helping. I don't know. I understand certain things on a different level now,
Mm-hmm.
which also gives me mental peace. Yeah. I'm no longer searching for certain answers.
Have you ever been to therapy?
No, I want to. That's on the to-do list.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now that I know your rising sign, I know it's probably hard for you to answer some of those questions. For everybody who is out there listening, Charity, I just found this out today. Charity is a Scorpio rising. If you know anything about people with Scorpio placements, especially major Scorpio placements, you know that they can be very secretive. They can hold on to information very well. So if you need somebody to keep a secret, that might be your person with that Scorpio, like their big three.
She is reading my soul.
But
that second one?
Yeah. A Scorpio, somebody with a Scorpio placement, they gonna take it to the grave, like, for you.
I got a few.
Yeah, but they
Just
also
going.
might try and use it against you.
Yeah.
So
But
just-
see, that's the thing, though. When you become a person who's authentic and
Mhm.
live and walk in your truth, anything I tell you, you can't use against me. Because where'd you get the information from? Me. And if I cared that much, I would have took it to the grave.
See?
So if you know about it, you can try to use it against me, but I promise I don't care as much as you think. So, yeah.
Very
Noted.
intense. Intensity. So, like, I've been to therapy before.
Yeah.
I went to therapy. I was in therapy a whole year before
That's good.
I got divorced.
Before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to therapy because I suspected that I had ADD.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that I did.
Okay.
Well, ADHD. But I went also because I was struggling with a lot of things, like with like understanding, accepting, or realizing that there was no intimacy really in my marriage. So like there was an issue there, and I was like, oh my God, I need to talk to somebody about it because I felt so overwhelmed with everything in my life, taking my kids to school, working, doing all of those things. And like being in therapy really helped me to get through that year for sure. But I think it really prepared me for the year that came afterwards, because I didn't feel like. That was what I was going
to ask. Do you feel like that helped you make that decision?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do feel like that.
Sometimes people do have to go to therapy to finally get to the point where it's like, okay, I got to stop feeling guilty and trying to do what everybody else want me to do, and I got to do what's best for me.
Right.
So
I think that was probably one of the biggest lessons I learned in therapy. Like that, I don't feel like I'm a people pleaser, but like being in therapy and hearing myself talk to her about some of the things that I did and like just some of the accommodations that I make for other people, I realized that in a way I am a people pleaser, a lot more than I like to believe. So I think that like being in therapy really helped me, and that's probably like the biggest thing I have on mental health is I always recommend people go to therapy. And not even when you get to the point where I got to, where you're like, oh my God, I feel so overwhelmed, but just like going as maintenance, even if you don't have, I had to go once a week for a whole year.
Yeah. That's what I would like to do.
Once a week? You think you would need that much? Well, I mean, I don't know.
I think it'll be helpful. I don't know if I need that much. Like, okay, like hitting on what you said about the Scorpio and me and whatnot. Like, there's a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I never like talked about from my childhood and all types of stuff. Even stuff that I go through now. That some of my best friends don't even know. So all of that, I just want to unload it on somebody.
So you just want to trauma dump on somebody.
Okay. Sit down a spell. I got to talk.
Right.
Yeah. So I do.
Yeah.
I do.
So like when I was in therapy, the first time I went, the first 2 sessions, I don't think I cried. The third session, when I started getting more comfortable and started talking about things, girl, I feel like I was crying every session. First of all, after that third one, I feel like I cried all the time.
See, but it's like, good.
It is. And my therapist used to be like, "It's okay to cry here," because I used to be like,
"No,
hold it in,
can't breathe, just let it out."
She used to like, "Kendra, it's okay to cry here. This is a safe space."
Yeah,
girl, I used to be like,
and it's hard to be like, "Okay, we just met, but this is a safe space. Like, you're still a stranger, ma'am."
Yeah.
So,
and it's not even like I wasn't even like worried about her like using the information against me or anything. I was just like, I can't believe I'm about to say this to somebody who doesn't even know me. But then at the same time, I was like, well,
there's laws against that anyway.
Huh?
There's laws against that anyway. She better not tell your business.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I feel like it was so helpful for me. I think during that year, even though I was going through a lot in my home life, it really helped me to be able to appreciate my relationship with my kids more, and definitely to like be there for them and understand how I could be there for them in ways that I maybe felt like people weren't there for me when I was a kid.
That. Yeah. Something you just made me realize. I definitely think growing up, I was a people pleaser, and then I learned the power of saying no. And I now have no problem saying no when I don't want to do something. But I think it's like I put down the people pleasing, but picked up needing validation. And that was something that was a stronghold that I had to break. So, yeah, be careful, guys. If you're not a people pleaser, are you seeking validation? Because you might have to stop that too.
I don't know. I do still people please. Like, I still make a lot of accommodations for other people. Just because, like, and it's not even like that I'm afraid of conflict or I don't, or conflict is something that I don't want to get into. Because I understand very well that conflict is a part of life. But, like, sometimes I just don't be wanting to hear it. Like, I don't even want to talk to you about nothing. You want to do what? So sometimes I'll let people do it their way and fail. And then we'll be like, all right, we'll
talk about it later.
Right. We're going to go back and this time, this is what I'm going to suggest. We're going to do it like this. But, like, I would like to embrace the power of saying no a little more. And, like, no with no explanation.
Exactly.
Like, can you da-da-da-da? No.
Because I said so. Because I just don't want to.
Right. Well, why? I don't want to.
It does nothing for me.
like Drake, it's not an enjoyable experience for me. Like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So, like, I would like to embrace saying no a little more, but definitely, I realize a lot of things about myself, and I feel like it would be beneficial for anybody to go to therapy, whether you felt like you needed it or not. But I don't think that's the only way that you can take care of your mental health.
It's not. Like,
some people are really good at journaling. I'm not.
I'm really good with words, and even in school I was always good like with poetry and anything literature and things like that, but I don't think I have really. Well, I had a small spell of journaling, but it was more so like on a manifestation tip instead of just journaling for what mental reasons
in your brain.
Right. So I might try that. I might have to try that.
I can't journal, so like my struggle with journaling is and it's so funny because
what to say.
Like, no, it's like I know what to say and I'll have a strong like week.
Yeah.
And then I'll put the journal down, I'll never see it again. And then when I decide I want to journal again, I can't use the same journal. I have to go get a new journal.
Why?
I don't know. My brain just works like that. I don't know. I have to go get a new journal.
You keep going.
I can't. It can't be in the same journal. It has to be. It has to be a new one. It has to look different. It has to feel different.
Like to motivate you to do it.
Yeah, I have to have that dopamine release. Like if I don't, I can't. So like I have like when I was younger, I tried journaling. I've been trying to journal all my life. Number one. That's number one. And I'm gonna tell y'all what my therapist said to me about this. But that's number one. I've been trying to journal all my life. When I was younger and I used to have to clean up my room, I would find like stacks of journals that were not finished. None of them were finished.
Y'all had the first page.
Yeah, like pretty much like the first maybe 5 pages. I might have doodled in a couple, and then put it away, and then got a new journal. So like now I think as an adult, it's kind of manifested into planners. I never finish a planner. I always have to get a new one.
I think you should challenge yourself. Next time you journal, even if you do your first 5 pages and put it down, challenge yourself to pick it back up and just continue. I think it'll be something powerful within just watching, okay, this is what these first 5 pages look like. Then I put it down, and now this is this stage in my life, and just seeing the different stages all in one book. It might trigger something.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I have a hard time with it. So I was telling my therapist about this, right? And my therapist was like, well, why do you feel like you have to journal? And I was like, because people said I have to. I was like, people always tell me that you should journal. This is how you take care of your mental health, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, but it doesn't do anything for you. And I was like,
I'm not gonna lie, I thought about that. If you've been trying it all your life and it hasn't stuck.
And I was like, it really doesn't. I was like, I mean, I write it down and I forget about it, but it doesn't mean I forgot about it. Like it's still. And she was like, so you don't have to do things that don't do anything for you.
If it don't
just
serve you,
because
don't
people tell you have to do them. And I was like, you're right about that.
It'd be the simplest things. Right. That's like
things that you know you knew, and it's just like. Yeah,
paying you this much an hour for you to say this simple. I knew this.
Why am I journaling?
A family member told me this yesterday,
and people still to this day will be like, "Well, you should try journaling again." And I'm just like, I don't think I'm gonna do it.
It's for some, but not for all.
Yeah, it's fun in the beginning, and then when I'm done, I'm just done. And then when I decide to pick it back up, I got to get a new one. I can't. But like, I mean. For me, that's just not one of the things. Some people do like those like shadow work journals. Have you ever heard of those? I don't really understand it, so I won't go into too much detail about it. But like shadow work is supposed to help you get into the deepest, darkest parts of yourself and unveil them and go through all of that.
No, thank you. Ain't that what therapy
that's
for?
That's also. Well, I went to therapy. I don't know if I need a shadow work journal.
Yeah, but sounds creepy.
But, yeah, I mean, it just depends on what you into.
Yeah.
But some people, I don't know. What are some other things you think people do for mental health?
Music. That definitely helps my mental.
You know what? That's true. I have a whole playlist titled Dopamine.
Plenty of playlists. For all my, not to sound schizo, for all my different moods and personalities. I have one for every.
Yeah. Did you used to burn a lot of CDs when burning CDs was a thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I burned a lot of CDs
100%.
and all my CDs. But like if I used to listen to them and I had them saved and I would write like what songs were on there. I looked at them and like almost every CD would have like the same 3 songs at least. Like it would have a couple new ones sprinkled in.
3 bangers.
Right, but these 3 right here, they gonna hit every time.
Hit every time.
Like,
in the car?
Yeah. I have a playlist called Vibe and Drive also.
I think I just made one called Feel Good Vibes.
Yeah. And I really enjoy that one. I listen to that one like when I'm feeling kind of sad, but I don't want to get like too deep in my feelings. But I want to feel feelings a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
See, I don't know if y'all understand that. She just said a lot right there. I understand it.
You understand that? Yeah.
Yes,
like
exactly what you mean.
Sometimes you want to feel the feelings, but you don't want to feel too much feelings.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to cry,
don't let
but
them
I want to
feel
feel.
you.
Right. Don't let the feelings feel you.
Okay.
You feel
I
the
just want to
feelings.
feel them and filter through them real
but-
fast and enjoy my day.
Right. I just need to vibe and drive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I
it.
need to do. And like now, like that Sam and Weston are usually in the car with me. They listen to Vibe and Drive. And they be singing the songs. They
My
just
vibe
vibing.
and drive involves a lot of Drake.
Mine too.
And I mean, nothing was the same.
Nothing was the same.
Oh, that album hitting so hard.
Really?
Y'all need to go back and listen to it.
Do you listen to Brent Faiyaz?
Yes.
That's my vibe and drive. Him. And lately it's been a lot of Summer Walker. I did not think I was gonna be into her, but listening, like I'd be like,
then you start hearing Karma and No Love. It's like, girl, oh, wait a minute, Summer.
Right, please, Summer. You didn't have to do
Summer
this to
in all seasons.
I need Summer in the winter and the fall.
Okay.
Like, Summer Walker and Brent Faiyaz and
gotta have my Jasmine Sullivan.
I like Jasmine, but sometimes Jasmine for me is I don't know. Sometimes I can't relate.
Really?
Sometimes, and sometimes. Okay, so like we talked about sounds. Sometimes it's too loud. Okay. Like I don't really know how to explain it, but sometimes Jasmine's like too loud for me. Yeah, I like her. I do like her as an artist. Like I loved busting the windows out of your car.
So pick up your feelings, get on your nerves a little bit.
I like it, but it's not. I don't think it's on my Vibe and Drive playlist. Yeah, it couldn't be.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
See, I'll be making noise with her in the car to that song.
It's a good song. I like it. It's on. I think I have an airplane mode playlist also. It's on. I think it's on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I can pick up my feelings on airplane mode because I also have a little Future on there.
Yeah.
But Vibe and Drive, I got like
Future. I'm not gonna say what I was thinking.
I deal with Future heavy.
I have not listened to no Future in a long time.
I cherry pick a lot of his music because some of it is music that I don't relate to. Like if it's about like drugs and stuff, obviously, I mean I don't really relate to that.
They're just sounds.
Right. Yeah, and some of it if it's very heavy with rap, but if it's got a little auto tune,
yeah, a little, what was that song? Love and Affection that he did with Rihanna.
Uh-huh.
Like if it's a lot on that tip, I'll listen to it.
Yeah. See, Solo has been mine from the Hendrix album. Lately.
Oh yeah. See, I haven't listened to none
of his that's been mine. That Hendrix.
My niece listens to that all the time.
Yeah, and that's on that's not a new album, but it's
Yeah, I'm telling you gotta go back and listen to that album by Drake.
I've listened to it.
When you really, but see, you know how stuff like it hit then, and then you just forget about it, and then it come back around, and it's like, wow, that's the stage I'm at.
That's
so I have a listing right now. So I'll be going back and forth to Bonnier, Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
And Drake gets me through that 4-hour drive to and from.
Bonnier. Oh, I was going to say, Bonnier's not 4 hours from here. Oh, it's 2 hours there, 2 hours back. God, that's awful.
I know. But Drake,
you turn on
we
Drake,
get through it together.
And y'all going. Nothing was the same.
It wasn't.
Wait, it's Nothing Was the Same. The album with, is it Bria's Interlude?
No. It got The Language on there. The Furthest Thing.
Oh, that was a good album. That was a good one.
Listen to the first few bars of Own It.
So that one I listened to a lot back when it first came out. I think I had that one on repeat when it first came out.
The whole album, no skips.
Yeah. That was a good one. That's a good album.
I don't know who be telling this man my business, but he be just writing it. And just get behind the booth and just start telling my business on the mic. I appreciate it though.
I mean, people say he has a ghostwriter, but I don't really know how true that is.
Well,
I can't speculate.
Ghostwriter's doing a great job.
I
don't care who's doing it. Thank you.
He needs to keep that writer.
Okay, in your pocket. Don't tell nobody.
Don't tell anybody. Don't let that writer write for nobody else either. I was just a little confused. Sorry, I thought you were going to tell us to stop talking.
No. Nope.
Oh, well, you can cut this. So. Stop touching your hair. He's got to touch it, Tism. All right.
Okay.
Sorry. But yeah, that was a good album. So, how would you rate, like, your mental health on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the best.
Due to recent events. I would say, for real, I think I'm back up to a strong 9 right now.
Ooh, that is good.
Yeah, it's work. You got to work that muscle.
You do have to work that muscle.
So, yeah. I wasn't kidding when I said do to certain events. Like that, it was a lot. But now I'm getting like my motivation back and back into my bag. And just, sometimes stuff be happening. Mm-hmm. And you have to remind yourself who the fuck you are. And that's where I'm at. I had to remind myself who I am. Mm-hmm. Okay. And now that I know again, we back and we black. Yeah. I ain't gonna forget no more 2024. Yeah. Okay.
No, don't at all 2024. We remembering who we are.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We ain't believe in lies of the enemy.
Not a single lie.
He's a liar.
Yeah. Let me see. Where would I rate mine? Maybe I'd say a 7.5.
Okay.
7.5 out of 10. And only because recently there was a drive-by shooting in my neighborhood. This is a lot to explain, but there's a drive-by shooting in my neighborhood, so I had to move abruptly out of my townhome that I really, really loved. And I was talking about it the other day with my friend. I was like, I really, really love that place.
We had plans for that place.
I know. I was so sad. Didn't even get to live my God, I cried, and I had to move back into my mom's house. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's all. I mean, and my mom is a great housemate. Her and her husband are great. I appreciate them. Mm-hmm. But it's nothing like having your own space. And I think when I had my own space, I was able to, my brain worked a little better because now I'm again, going back to people pleasing, working around other people and trying to do all of that. So for me, that's why I would give myself a 7.5 out of 10 right now. Yeah. But I do think that once I figure out what I'm going to do moving forward and where I want to live.
Because like you're saying, it can be a good environment.
Right. The environment is fine.
The fact that it's shared with others and you can't operate fully how you'd like to operate, it still does take an effect.
Right.
On your mental.
Because I really miss that space. So 7.5 out of 10. Because of the trauma from the drive-by and and just having to readjust. And even when I was in therapy, one thing my therapist always talked to me about was she shouldn't say I had an issue with it, but she did say she said making big adjustments like that is challenging for me.
Change is challenging.
Yeah. So those types of big life changes, she's processing those types of things is a challenge.
It used to be real hard for me too. I was the type, don't spring nothing on me. I need a good 2 weeks of business days to process.
I need 10 business days.
Wrap my head around it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, I got more of the jump off the porch spirit. I'm just learning how to navigate change better. Now, them 2 weeks or the 10 business days, cut down. If it's traumatic and it comes out of nowhere, that's cut down to 3. Give me 3 days.
Right.
And I'm back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Because so for me, it's definitely a 7.5. I can't give it any more than that. Yeah. Because I was home, for context, I was home when the drive-by shooting did happen. There was a bullet hole in the house. My kids were home. So it was a lot going on that night. And it was totally unexpected, but I guess it was just something to move me forward.
Everything does happen for a reason.
It does.
And my 9 of a mindset or mental, that literally happened as of yesterday. I got back to a 9. So, yeah, and today is a strong 9.
A strong 9. Yeah. Do you think that it can change on a daily basis?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's about, it has a big, to-dos with how you talk to yourself, how you feel about yourself, and, if you believe in lies of the enemy, and you might have fake friends around you that's, instead of hyping you up. Yeah. Do you really think you can achieve that?
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Nobody else has done that. You really think you gonna be the one? I don't have friends like that. My sisters work.
Your sisters work?
I don't have friends like that. I have 2 close friends that I have known for years on years and years. Yeah. One since 9th grade, one since I was literally 6 years old. And when I'm in those modes where I kind of forget who I am, they remind me.
That's good.
They gon' like, what? You better put some respect on your name. Like, that's the energy they coming with.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, you right. I forgot. I'm back.
Yeah. So having like a sounding board, like people who gonna be like, no, we not doing that.
Yeah, that pour into you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you talk to yourself like that.
Yeah.
You don't need to feel like that.
Yeah.
Don't let nobody else make you feel like that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. That's important to have. I think that's important for anybody to have. Especially,
I thank God for those 2 friends. Seriously,
aww,
I really do.
I love that.
Them.
you do because like life will really be taking you through some things, and you'll be like, oh my God, I feel like my life is falling apart. Like,
and the biggest part is that we have. It's not even a policy. It's really on some. What's understood don't have to be explained.
Mm-hmm.
But when I say those are safe spaces, I don't care what I say and tell those 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a no judgment zone. You know, sometimes you prepare yourself for what you finna say.
Yeah.
Like, I already know I'm finna get backlash. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't never be like, girl. You know, like, it's always a no judgment. It's
That's
like,
good.
okay, cool. But they going to tell it how it is, too.
Yeah.
They ain't going to let you just run rapid out here.
They could.
Okay.
They could.
You
always need somebody though who's gonna be honest and straightforward with you and like straight to the point. Because like sometimes you could have like friends that will kind of sugarcoat it for you, but you do need people who gonna be like, no.
My sugarcoating is very light sugar. And I ask people,
sweet and low.
Yeah, okay. Stevia. I be
Not real
like, people
sugar.
come vent to me, and I'll be like, okay. So what we doing? Do you just need to vent, and I'm just like listening, or do you want my advice? I always ask first, because you don't never want to just come. I just need a friend to listen to me,
Right.
and then you start feeling judged. What we doing? You
Right.
just want to vent, and I listen,
Right.
or you want advice? And you know me. Don't ask for what you don't want.
Oh.
Because I'm going to tell you
Yeah.
the truth.
I don't ever ask my friends if they want me to listen or if they want advice. I just kind of go off the vibes.
See, I had to ask that after this one. It was a lot of like sugarcoating, trying to be there for you. And then it's like, okay, no chaser because you're not getting it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you exactly how it is.
Mm-hmm.
And she was mad at me for a long while. Like, we started beefing. It's like, I'm just literally telling you what nobody else will tell you at this age. And it's really stuff that shouldn't have to be said.
Yeah.
So, she hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
She got over her attitude. We got back cool. We still not where we were. I don't think we'll ever be there again. But we good and we cordial. But she heard me and she took heed to everything that I said. And it has been life-changing for her.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
I'll be the sacrifice as long as you get there.
Me, I'm so scared to like give people advice. I'll be like, you know, that's just what I would do. But hey, who am I? Like,
do what you
I
want.
follow it up with that disclaimer every time, like, you know, but I'm not a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or it's just that's just my take.
Yeah.
Like, because I be scared like that. They're gonna be like, I tried to follow your advice and it didn't work. Like, I don't want you to do that.
But see, when I give advice, I point out why I feel it would be beneficial for you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can see it and be like, oh, okay, I fuck with what you said.
Yeah.
Cool, follow it. If you don't.
Right.
But
I mean, that's true. That
I
could be
ain't
the new
just
disclaimer.
saying stuff just to say stuff. I
Yeah.
really feel like you could benefit from this.
Yeah.
So do with it what you will.
Yeah. Do what you can with it. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what you're going to have to do with it. That's what I would do. So, like, what is some advice you would give to a mom who's struggling with her mental health?
Take time for yourself. And literally, if you're one of those that are kind of going through a depressed stage with it, I went through it, and what made me feel better, I don't care if I wasn't going nowhere, but just get up, do your hair, do your eyebrows, put some lashes on, put clothes on. I don't care if you sit in the house and just watch Netflix. Look cute while doing it. And it's going to make you remember who you were before you had a kid. And be like, oh, okay. I do love myself.
Yeah.
I feel good about myself. So just even little things, whatever makes you feel good. Like how we talked about pampering yourself. If that's your thing, do that. Find somebody you can trust that will watch your baby for an hour or two. And just go have a reset. That's what I call it.
Right. Yeah, you have to. I think those resets are really important. I know, like, recently, like, I feel like I went through a little reset and I had to get myself back together and be like, oh, no. I really do like doing this. Like, I really do like doing that. I don't know why I stopped. Like,
you ain't
like,
have time no more.
Right. And like sometimes, you know, like life would be life and you'd be caught up like with work and kids and all that stuff. But like I feel like you legit have to like write it down or put it in your calendar so that you have to do it. You like make it a part of your schedule. Like, oh no, I have to do this. Like I was really good about that. Like with when I was on my most consistent gym schedule, I was like, oh no, I have to go to the gym. I have to do this.
Non-negotiable.
Right. It's not. I can't let anybody cut into that. And like recently, I've been starting to like realize a lot more that no, I have to be like that with a lot of things about myself. Because if I don't,
the consistency won't stay.
Right. And then I'll start going back to people pleasing, especially if I'm dealing with a man that I like.
So you have to put boundaries with yourself,
right?
Too.
Boundaries for me is so important. Like for me, I have to see that a person can set boundaries, but I also, in my new state, have realized that I have to set boundaries. Yeah. And like I have to be very serious with my boundaries and understand that like, cause I think like sometimes, and I don't know how we're going to this, but for me with dating, I'll get so caught up in that person and I'll be like, oh my God, I want to be with him all the time. I want to do this. I want to da-da-da. And like so like that immediately closes off all my boundaries for myself. And I just am like, oh my God, what does he want to do? He wants to do this. What does he want? He needs that. And
it's a tricky balance.
It is. It's a hard balance, especially when you really like somebody. Yeah. And you'll be like, oh, I just like him and I want him to like me too. But like you have to think about like the fact that they're already there, they probably already like you enough. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, even think about 3 months.
3 months
that I was telling you about, like recently, when I say due to recent events, I'm serious.
3 months?
And I just had to like, I just can't. Dating is not my priority right now. I appreciate how nice and how sweet you've been and consistent, but I don't want to waste your time. And I don't want to do that to nobody. Yeah. So I just got to be real with where I'm at. And I'm just, I don't have the heart to date right now. Oh. I need therapy. Okay. I need therapy. I was talking to somebody last night and I'm like, yeah, like a lot of times we might not realize, but we go through these relationships, and if it's not the right relationship, you end up creating a version of yourself that's just there to survive this relationship. Yeah. This ain't even the real you. This the version you had to become to survive this relationship.
Absolutely.
And that just becomes your norm, and it's on replay. But even when you get out of that relationship, you need to unlearn these behaviors. You do. But honestly, once certain things have taken place, can you really unlearn them?
You can. I think it takes time. My therapist used to always talk about how I was in survival mode for that year. So basically my prefrontal cortex had shut down. And I'm doing this.
I'm right here with you. Ooh.
Yeah. So like I was in survival mode. So like she was like, a lot of the things that you're doing, she always, Kendra, a lot of the things that it sounds like you're doing, you're operating out of survival mode. And I was like, yeah, but like in my head, I'm like,
not?
Right. Like in my head, I'm like, yeah, but how do I get out of survival mode?
I don't know.
And like a lot of times I think like some people feel like therapy might not work for them. And it's really just because you're looking for somebody to give you answers, but that's not their job to give you answers. Like it's their job to listen to you and to help guide you along so that you ask yourself those questions. Like what I said, and you were like, oh, yeah, that's
the problem. Like I also think I'm low-key my own therapist because I really be like,
but you not though.
I'm not, but I really do be dissecting stuff. Like even, I don't know, like for example, like with the like people pleasing or seeking validation. It's like I know it's there, but I don't just be like, oh, okay, I do that. No, I'm finna. But why do I do that? And I will sit there and do a deep dive of like, where did this start? What do I get out of that? Why do I feel I need validation from anybody? And like, so I be trying to be my own therapist, girl.
Yeah, but that's why you need a therapist, because they will ask you things that you never even thought to ask yourself.
Yeah,
and then you'll be like, oh my God. Like,
I would have never uncovered that.
Never. You would have never in 1,000 years uncovered that, because you would have never thought to ask yourself or look at something from a different perspective. Because I think that's the benefit of having a therapist. There's somebody who's non-biased, who doesn't know you,
on the
who
outside,
knows nothing about
in.
you. They're just listening to what you're saying about yourself, and then like bringing their medical training along with their own experiences to that, to help you kind of get through that. Like, it's a heavy job to be a therapist. Like, every therapist needs a therapist.
I know they do.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's like different types. So, like a trauma therapist.
Yeah. It's
I would need to go home to talk to somebody.
I would too.
As soon as I clock out.
Girl, immediately. I'd probably be crying. I know I don't have the heart to be a therapist, because I would cry every day. Every single day.
You internalize what you hear and see people going through.
Yeah. Because it's hard. And then, like, it's just hard. But, I mean, I can only imagine it would be a challenge. I don't really know, because I'm not a therapist. But I think that, like, that's why you need one, because you need that person who knows nothing about you, knows nothing about your situation. They just listening to what you tell them. And, like, they become, like, you can tell when your therapist start to become invested in you and your well-being. Like, and it's, like, a genuine
that's what I need.
thing.
Don't just make it, like, this is a working relationship.
Yeah, it's not. And that's why it's hard. Like, it's also hard to find a Black therapist. Because when I first got in therapy, I was very serious. Like, I was like, I want a Black therapist, because I need somebody who can understand life from the perspective of a Black woman. And they were like, okay, well, we can try and find you a Black therapist. They were like, so the earliest available that we can find you, and I think I was trying to start in, like, I want to say it was like a May. And they were like, maybe September is when we could start you. And I was like, oh no. Because I was in a terrible state of mind when I started therapy. Like, not in a state of mind where I felt like I was going to harm myself or harm anybody else. And let's just be clear with that.
But just need some relief.
Definitely, like, I could not organize any thoughts in my brain. I could not complete simple tasks. I kept leaving my keys places. Like, it was just bad. And I was like, no, I can't wait 5 months. I'm so sorry. And they were like, no, it's fine. We have somebody who could start with you next week. They were like, it is a woman. And I was like, if I can't have a Black therapist, I feel like she needs to be a woman. So me and Faith, that was my old therapist name, we started, and we were on for a whole year. And it was really good. It was really helpful.
I definitely need somebody to help me. I don't know if I'm in survival mode. Best way I can explain it is, I don't know. I just can't unknow what I know. I'm sorry. The way my mind works, you might not understand it. Do you understand it?
I do understand that. Like, I don't think the goal is to unknow what you know, but I think it's to, so like for me.
Well, I can't act like I don't know what I know, and I can't act
like it.
Like, I don't know. Everybody ain't just here for your best interest.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
They not.
The world is very transactional.
Yeah, the world is.
So, I don't know. I just, I don't want no parts.
Sometimes you have to just,
right
like,
now.
in love?
None of that.
No.
I don't.
I feel like for me, like, when it comes to love, even though, like, right now it's just kind of a time of me not doing that, I always leave the possibility open in my head. Because, like, I understand that it could happen, and it could happen at, like, an unexpected time.
Probability? Yeah.
It could happen at a very unexpected time, and it could be something that I'm not necessarily looking for, and it could just be there. And I think that, for me, I'm not the one who's going to be like, no, like, completely closed off to it. Like, I don't even care if it looked me in the face and said, I am love. Like, and I would be like, no, I wouldn't be like that. I'd be like, oh, so now let me figure out how I can balance this love with love and love. Like, if you understand what I mean.
I
like
do.
Love for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, how can I
be the virgin that can accept this and handle it and steward over it healthily?
Because, like, I have to be able to enter into my next relationship, like, securely. So, like, I have to be secure with myself, my boundaries that I've set for myself. I have to make sure I'm still making all the time for the things that I like to do. But also making time for that person and just putting that balance and not giving too much to somebody else and not enough to myself. Because I do that a lot. Very bad with that.
Your cup got to be filled too.
Yeah. And like recognizing, but also like not being delusional. Because
and speaking up about it too. Like you're saying all of the right things that are true. Yeah. But some people still be scared to voice these things. Like, okay, I know I need somebody to fill my cup back up too. Right. But people be scared to say it. Right. Be vocal.
Yeah. And then like I think people are scared to say it because they know once they're vocal, like then that could go one or two ways. You know what I'm saying? Like the person, right? The person could be like, okay, how can we work on this together so that you can feel like you're being fulfilled also. Or the person could be like, well, you tripping and da-da-da-da and make you feel bad about it, or they could leave.
Let it expose itself.
Right. Are you wearing YSL?
I am.
I can smell it. Yeah. I can smell. I have oh my God, I have that one.
Yes. Love it. It has me in a chokehold.
It has you in a chokehold?
For like 2 years now.
I get a lot of compliments when I wear that perfume. Totally random.
Me too. But why did I have this like premonition earlier today of this exact thing happening? Oh. And he's like, are you wearing why? I promise you.
There's a glitch in the matrix. Yeah, I can smell it. I have that one. It was a gift. Yeah. But I get a lot of compliments when I wear it. You smell nice.
Thank you.
I was like, I know I don't have, because I put on one from this company called Clean, and I forgot what it's called. The company is Clean, but it's like a fresh linen or something like that. Because I like the fresh linen scent in my house, like just in general. So I was like, let me see if I like it on my body. But I kept smelling YSL, and I was like, I'm sitting here like,
did I put the wrong thing?
No, I know I didn't, but I'm like, I smell it.
Yeah.
So I just had to ask.
I'm going to eventually move on to something else. It got me, guys.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
It is.
I like the lighter one. I don't like the intense one.
The Libre.
Yeah, I like Libre. That's what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, they have different intensities. Yeah. So like the one that was given to me as a gift was the lightest intensity. And I really like that one. I have smelled the deepest one, and I didn't like it. Was too deep. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I like a good,
like a
medium.
One. Yeah. Yeah. It's nice. I like it.
It got me in such a chokehold. I ain't even smelt none of the other.
Oh, really?
Seriously.
Yeah. No. Yeah. What?
I'm like, I'm gonna go, and
we need to go to Sephora one day together.
Yeah.
I just went the other day.
That's a love language for me.
What, shopping?
Yeah.
That's your love language?
Self-care, mental stimulation, just me time.
Do you believe in the love languages? Have you read the book?
Absolutely.
Or have you just like taken the test?
I just know the 5.
Oh. Have you taken the quiz to find out what yours are?
I'm sure I have, but it was probably a while ago. Oh. But you already read me. I don't need a book to tell me what's important. Honestly, and I'm not kidding. What's my love language? It's all of them.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not kidding.
So like I think we need to dispel this rumor right now. So all of the love languages are everybody's love languages. Just some of them have a higher ranking than others. Yeah, because all of them are not going to be at your highest ranking. Like,
well, I know someone gifts is totally not on their list, right? Though. At all.
The percentage is low. So like it breaks it down to you in percentages on the website. Yeah. And when you take the quiz, but also you should read the book. But when you do it on there, it breaks it down into percentages. Like my highest percentage, actually my top 2 were tied, but it put
what are they?
Quality time and acts of service.
Me too.
That's, I'm like, they were tied for me. And then after that was physical touch and words of affirmation.
And then gifts.
Mine so too. Gifts was like at the bottom for me. And like, yeah. So like gifts
except mine is acts of service first and then
quality time. Yeah. So like gifts has consistently been at the bottom for me. Like, they say you should retake it every couple of years because it might change for you. And it did change for me. Like, when I first took it when I was in my like mid-20s, quality time was my highest one, and then words of affirmation. But then when I retook it recently, it was quality time, acts of service, and then the rest of them. Right. So I was like, but like acts of service has become something for me that I'm like, oh my God. And I think it's because I became a mom, honestly. Because like when you become a mom, you're doing so much for other people all the time. Man. And like nobody's really ever thinking about you or doing anything for you.
You just like, turn into Casper.
Yeah. Even when I was married, like once I became a mom, like it was like I was doing everything. I felt like I had so much to do, and nobody was doing anything for me. So like if somebody would do something nice for me, like I was like, God, that does mean out here single and dating. Like a big deal for me is dudes pumping my gas. My mom is like, that's just still the bare minimum. Like, come on, Kendra.
I mean, it is, but it's just like you're finding, that I like that stuff.
Right. It's just like, oh man, he helped me out. Like, or like, if you ever
don't just pump it, pay for it.
That too. pumping and paying for it is gonna get you a lot further than a lot of things. Coming over my house and taking out my trash. That used to be
being a man.
Right. Right. Coming over and hanging something up for me. Like, I literally was having this conversation the other day with one of my friends, and I was like, you don't have to, like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to know how to hang TVs. Like, I don't think I want to do who be hanging TVs, because you know how...
Why? What is wrong with that?
Because, like, dudes who hang TVs be in too many people's houses.
Oh, you mean like as their profession?
Yeah, like I don't need you to be the dude who everybody call to come hang your TV. Because like you gonna be in too many people's houses. It's gonna be too many ladies walking around their robe while you in there hanging a TV, married or not. And I just can't do it. I can't do it. I can't, because I ain't gonna be like, so you've been hanging a TV for 5 hours at this same house.
See, you gonna start nothing up.
Yeah, I can't do that. I don't think I'm not secure enough yet.
I'm just real. I don't know. See, my psyche is not like relationships, so it's hard for me to even tap in. But I'm just real big right now on let it expose itself. So, hell yeah, I'm gonna let you go do it. And we gonna see where the chips fall. Cause I rather just know. Yeah. But I ain't finna, like you say, go chase out there. No, circumstances gonna be circumstances. And we just.
Do you believe in going through a dude's phone?
I used to. Well, on the level of me and my ex, we had full access to each other. Okay. I had his iPad. We had face recognition on everything. Oh, okay. So my face opened all your stuff. Your face, so
that was deep.
Yeah, and I would never find nothing. So it was, just like, oh, okay. But I be real in tune with my intuition. So I'm cool until something back here start tapping. It's like, oh, wait a minute, Oh, God. When the math ain't mathing, hell yeah, I'll go find it.
Really?
You turn into FBI real fast.
Okay. See, I don't. I won't. And that's because, like, I have always believed in, like, if you go looking for dirt, you'll find it.
And it's going to come out anyway.
Exactly. And I do believe that if it's ever anything that's going to need to be out for me to see, it's going to present itself.
Yeah, it is.
So, like, I mean, me personally, since we're talking about health, among other things today. Yeah. I go to the OBGYN. I do my annual every year. If I ever feel like anything is weird down there, I'm going to go. Like, I ain't going to hesitate. So, like, 100%. If I show up and we find we finding out where we found it from.
I know who did it.
Period. Because I know who you are. I've been with you and only you. So, like, for me, that's just, like, I gotta, like, for me, I feel like if anything would ever happen, that's how it would present itself. But I don't really go looking. I do. I rebuke that too. I don't want none of that. Okay. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just make sure I stay up on stuff like that. Like, I do my part. Yeah. So that if anything did happen, I could see. But I don't really be trying to find it. Like, if I decide that I'm gonna be with you, then I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna be with you. I've already decided that. And like if you start showing me untrustworthy ways, like I might start. What I do is like I'll ask a lot of questions, and that bothers dudes.
If it bothers them, then
right,
be bothered over there.
Period.
Because I got questions and I need answers.
I have questions. All you have to do is answer them. If it ain't nothing going on, then what's the problem? With the question?
You know what I'm learning? A lot of dudes, if we talking and I'm the guy, and you start asking me questions and stuff, and I start, man, you doing too much and this and that. You know what their mindset be 9 times out of 10?
What?
It don't matter what you asking me and what you find out and what bruh, like you gonna stay over it anyway.
Yeah.
That be their mindset. That's why they get irritated when you ask a question. If I am fucking her, so you gonna stay anyway. So can we just skip all this?
Right.
No. Because I'm gonna skip over here.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Single Mama Minimal Drama. It has been real. Signing off, your host Kendra.
And your girl Charity. Your favorite realtor who don't get you.
And we will see you next time. Make sure you follow both of us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever, TikTok. Yeah. And check us out for more things. Tune in next week for some more interesting things.
Thank you. See you next time.